Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Oh, how wonderful to have something else to talk about. The Dutch king, King Willem Alexander, and his wife, Queen Maxima, kicked off their royal visit to South Africa yesterday. The king and queen are visiting at the invitation of President Cyril Ramaphosa in a bid to renew and strengthen the ties and partnership between the Netherlands and South Africa. Remember, South Africa was not just a British colony, but before the British were handed South Africa on a silver platter, we were a Dutch colony. Well, at least until 1795. In my household, we speak mostly Afrikaans, although that is a joke in itself. One I'll tell you another day. But the fact that I can trace my paternal lineage back to a great great grandfather and beyond in Scotland, but that we speak Afrikaans because of my mother's Dutch ancestry is a perfect example of our rainbow nation and our origins. Never mind. Cyril Ramaphosa and the King and Queen reflected a little on the colonial history between the two countries, but mostly discussed the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine and how it affects Europe and even South Africa. Remember, I spoke about imports and exports, etc. They also talked about the Israel Hamas conflict. Now, South Africa has a huge Jewish community. It is, however, difficult to say exactly how many Jewish people live in South Africa because we are all so integrated and because the Jews themselves differ on inclusion and exclusion, on who is to be considered Jewish and who not. So it is estimated that there are about 85,000 Jews in South Africa, of which about 51,000 are core or Orthodox Jews. So suffice it to say that the situation in Israel is indeed affecting a very large portion of our community. Cyril Ramaphosa reiterated how important it is now that whatever remnant of animosity there remained from the past, now is the time for reconciliation and to instead work together for a better future. Now, say what you will, I think the likes of our ruling party should have come to that conclusion a long time ago. How many times have I tried to explain on this silly little channel how interdependent we are and how what affects the one will eventually affect the other? You know, the butterfly effect. But without trying to sound too high and mighty, I am at the very least glad when a leader also finally catches on. Besides, total trade between South Africa and the Netherlands is now in the region of 122 billion rand, and Dutch tourists make up the fourth biggest number of foreign visitors. And that is just to give you an idea of how interdependent we all are. Anyway, King Willem Alexander and Queen Maxima arrived at the Waterkloof Air Force Base and was greeted by our Minister of International Relations, Naledi Pandor, on Wednesday, before being taken to the Union buildings and other places. Queen Maxima looked absolutely stunning during the welcome ceremony in Pretoria. After the ceremony, they took a walk through the historic Union buildings, etc. But despite all the festivities and visits to the exhibitions, etc., the King and Queen did not come alone. They are joined by several of their ministers, like the Minister of Education, Culture and Science, Robert Dijkgraaf, the Dutch Minister of Agriculture, and others, and various meetings will be held and agreement signed before the state visit ends in Cape Town. Today, Friday the 20th, the King, Queen, and their delegation is in my neck of the woods, and their 3-day visit will end with a reception in Cape Town tonight. Okay, guys, now that was short and sweet, but I'll post more pictures as soon as they are available. So, until then, take good care of yourselves. Bye. Okay, unfortunately, I have a PS. Just as I closed the video, a notification came through that the King and Queen's visit was marred by a mob of protesters outside the Ezeco Slave Museum in Cape Town. How embarrassing. The colonization of South Africa by the Dutch ended in 1795. How long are these people still going to use that as an excuse for their own failings? God bless Mr. Ramaphosa, King Willem Alexander, and Queen Maxima. And the end of this video.